Hello, and welcome to Rock Your Block, where we're highlighting individuals who are making an impact in our community. I'm your host, Larry Laws. On today's segment of First Home Alliance, I'm joined by a young real estate professional. She's licensed in Virginia, Maryland, and Washington, D.C., now working with Keller Williams Capital Properties. Please welcome to our show, Sarah Russell. Sarah, welcome to the show today.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for inviting me.
All right, great. And how was your trip in?
Oh, traffic. You already know that's a constant struggle here in the metro area. So, yeah, traffic.
Yes? Well, tell us a little bit about the company you're working with and what do you do there?
Okay, so I work for Keller Williams Capital Properties. It's a real estate brokerage similar to other brokerage such as like Long & Foster or some other names that you may know. I work with them as an agent, so my job is basically I work for them, but I service the community. So Keller Williams Capital Properties is a brokerage in all 3 states.
Okay.
So Maryland, Virginia, and D.C. We have about 8 or 9 brokerages at the moment.
Okay. And what is your target?
My target is first-time home buyers. I usually work with a lot of people who are just coming out of, getting their new jobs, have been there for a little while, know how much money they're going to be making, and they are, ready to buy a home. They're really just tired of renting and want to know the process of, making a home for themselves in this area. So first-time home buyers are really my niche area.
Okay. Now, I know you haven't been doing real estate forever, so tell us a little bit of some of the things that actually prepare you for that.
Okay, so I haven't been doing real estate forever, as you know. It's only been a couple years. But prior to real estate, I worked for a large bank, Bank of America, and I was a mortgage specialist.
Okay.
So prior to being laid off with them, I took an interest in real estate because I knew all the background to processing your paperwork for a loan for a property. So I know, how to process a short sale, a deed in lieu, or a loan modification if you're in some type of financial hardship and you need assistance.
Okay.
So for me, I took an interest because I was able to sit in front of these people and help them through their process, but also get to know the background paperwork for the real estate market. So once I was let go, it was just natural for me to go ahead and get my real estate license and become a real estate agent because I'm still going to be serving the community and helping people, but I know how to get them from point A to point B.
Okay. And so tell me a little bit about the team you work with at Keller Williams Capital Properties.
At the moment, I am a single agent, but I work with everybody in my office. So if anyone needs any type of assistance, I'm always the go-to person, especially for open houses. I do a ton of open houses. I have one almost every Saturday or Sunday of every weekend. I do take a day off.
Okay,
I
that's
understand that it's very important to take some time off because you can't run yourself crazy and you need your downtime, but mostly open houses have been my niche to meet new people. So a lot of first-time home buyers come to open houses, so for me, that's where I've been positioning myself and helping other agents at the same time.
Okay, and there at Keller Williams Capital Property where you work, what are some of the resources that you all have to help you reach some of the targets, some of the customers?
Oh, we have tons of resources. The great part about Keller Williams Capital Properties is we have a full-service website that helps the agent and also gives us the tools to help our clients. Okay. So we have a lot of marketing tools that our company provides to us to help with the people looking or searching for a home. For example, like we have a website that they provide to us that we can customize it for our target market, which is free for me and also great for me to capture leads for people who are looking, and also a mobile app. So that's a plus.
Yes, and I see you're out there on social media. So, so how's social media working for you, and what groups are you able to meet there?
Okay, with social media is a great way to meet new people. With Facebook and Instagram and even Snapchat, all these platforms really set you up to really get your name out there, help people understand that you're here to help. You can touch your sphere of influence, which are the people that you know who love you like you already, and then you give them the opportunity to keep in touch with you and ask you questions about what you do on a daily basis, or even if I'm not in their area, which I haven't lived here my whole life, so I moved to the area a few years ago. But being with Keller Williams Capital Properties, it's an international company, Keller Williams, so that I can help anyone in any state. I can help them contact an agent in their area. I'll vet them for them, and then I'll set them up with an agent that will be able to help them. So that's a great opportunity for me as an agent, but also a great opportunity for the people that I know to help them anywhere in the world. So
yes, and I see, do you have a passion? What is your passion about real estate?
Oh, my passion about real estate really is the fact that I get to help people understand the importance of ownership. Ownership is something that most people don't necessarily have an idea of what that really means. And, you know, ownership could mean, you know, owning a car, but a car devalues, but a home appreciates. And the importance of having a home is also knowing that you can build wealth. And my community where I'm from, that's not something that a lot of people have done over the years. But my mother purchased a home and my grandmother purchased a home. So for me, I want to spread the word to help people understand, hey, owning a home can be great. You're now not giving someone else your monthly rent every month. And also, you can have something to call your own. And if should anything ever happen to you, you can also pass it down to your children and your grandchildren and whoever else as a piece of an asset to help them grow as you know your family does. That's
true. Yes, and I see that you know you do like people, and tell me a little bit about your other community services.
Okay, great. I have been brought up in the spirit of community service. From a young girl, I was in a program called Rocket. Rocket is an outreach program for young girls in the inner city, which basically is AKAs, which is sorority. Took a few girls from elementary school and we groomed us all the way until we were 18. So in that process, literacy was the biggest point of volunteerism that they, you know, really pushed and drive for. So as I grew up, I always knew giving back or paying it forward was more important than receiving. So I volunteer now at the Central Union Mission in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
I've also volunteered for your organization. I also volunteer at some church groups or any type of community development. I do take the opportunity to volunteer with Keller Williams. We have Red Day. Okay. That's something we do once every year. It's for any community in the area. Since my office is in Fairfax, we do one in Fairfax.
Tell me a little bit more about that.
So the one in Fairfax, it's a elementary school, I think, or daycare, if I'm not mistaken, where we put together or refurbish a playground. Okay. So there's usually, you know, over the years they get torn down and jacked up over with the weather. So what we do is clean up the area, repaint something, or you know, put new things up to make sure the kids have somewhere to play that's safe and clean. And also we go into the community as well. For Thanksgiving about a week ago, we did a community day where we helped give away food for Thanksgiving.
Oh, great.
So that, and I think that was in Reston and at the food bank over there.
Okay. And you mentioned something that in reference to a vision board. And how do you work with that?
So a vision board is something that I came across about 4 years ago.
Okay.
I was at a stagnant point in my life where I'm like, things are just not happening for me. I just don't understand what's going on. I did everything right. I went to college, I graduated, I worked for a corporate company, but I still wasn't completely fulfilled. So I wanted to still pursue my goals and my dreams, but I wanted to do it in a plan or step by step where I could see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Okay.
So when I heard about vision boards, a vision board is basically you writing down your goals and putting them on some type of poster board or something where you can visually see your goals every single day.
Okay.
So I put it in my bathroom mirror. So when I get up every day, I have to look at what goals that I want to accomplish. And I don't set a time frame for them. They kind of happen over time. For me, it seems like every year I can complete almost every one of my goals.
That's great.
So Vision Board has been a catalyst for my success. I visualize it, I internalize it, and I put it out in the universe, and it comes back to me.
Okay. And how long have you been using that?
Now, like I said, 4 years ago, I've probably done 3 vision boards, and the last one that I did was at the beginning of this year. I have now accomplished, out of my 10 goals, 7 of them.
Okay.
So.
All right, Sarah, hold that for 1 second. We're about to take a break, but before we go, I would like to remind you that First Home Alliance is a HUD-approved housing counseling agency serving the National Capital Area. If you're a first-time home buyer or a homeowner in need of mortgage assistance, I encourage you to check the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development website for a HUD-approved agency in your area. We'll be right back after the break. Stay tuned. The combined federal campaign and United Way Federation potentially impacts quality of life nationally and across the globe. First Home Alliance, a community-based nonprofit housing counseling agency approved by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development to provide comprehensive housing assistance programs to help low to moderate income and veteran families. First Home Alliance is a CFC-approved charity and proud member of the United Way of the National Capital Area. Welcome back. You're watching Rock Your Block with me, Larry Laws of First Home Alliance. And if you're just now tuning in, we're joined today with our special guest, Sarah Rosen of Keller Williams Properties. Sarah, before the break, you were speaking of the vision board. And so give us a little bit more information on that.
Well, the vision board, again, I explained how it's been a catalyst or a tool for me to help me in my career, also in everyday life, achieving my goals. I wanted to go over a little bit more about it because the vision board is actually just a goal-setting tool for you to achieve those things that you really want to do in life. Again, sitting down and actually writing out your goals is your number 1 step. And then number 2, it's a great way to, release some energy and use your creative juices. So you actually get some type of cardboard or, any type of flat surface where you can put something on, such as a poster board, and you get a bunch of magazines that you can find, or you go to the internet and find images that you want, and you cut them out and you paste them to this board. And you want to do them in a sequence of where you want to be in life. For example, the first thing you want to accomplish, you put that down first. And then all the way down to the end of your board, you have all the things that you really want on there. You can spread them around, you can make it really creative, you can do anything you want, add some glitter for fun, but at the end of the day, you took the time to create your vision. And then at the very end of your vision board, you want to write on the back of it. The goals are taped to the back of it, the goals that you wrote down in the beginning. And then every time you see a goal and you want to accomplish those things, you really do need to take the time out and write out the steps to get there. So you not only are visualizing, you are actually taking the steps to do it. So it manifests within yourself because you believe in it, but also you are doing those things and you don't even know it.
Right.
It kind of just comes from the universe and you feel like, oh my gosh, this is magic. It's not magic. It really is just you believing in yourself and making sure it happens.
That's great. Yes, and that's one thing to state that goal, and actually to set those steps up in between is very important. Yes, and you mentioned earlier that you was doing some volunteerism. Tell us exactly what you're doing with First Home Alliance, actually, and with the training. Okay,
so First Home Alliance is a group that I was introduced to from PJ Santiago. He's another real estate agent, and he told me it would be a great opportunity to meet new people and help people learn about the first-time homebuyer process. And I said, great. Before I started it, I had to get certified from VHDA. So I am a certified trainer. So I am able to teach the first-time home, the portion of the real estate portion of the class.
Okay.
So what I do is go step by step through how the home buying process works, all the way to when you get to your home inspection, and then a home inspector will come in and speak about that portion.
Yes. Well, that's great, and you're doing an excellent job as a trainer. Sarah, the VHDA class actually potential homeowners the steps through that process. Can you step us through that home buying process?
Yes, I can. The first thing you want to do is go through a buyer's consultation with whatever real estate agent you come in that you meet. For example, you want to interview at least 1 or 2, even 3 before you even start your process of wanting to purchase a home. So once you decide who that person is, the first thing is a buyer's consultation, like I mentioned. The buyer's consultation is basically like a needs assessment. So the buyer will sit down and go over every single detail they want and or need in the home. And once you lay all those things down on the table, we understand what your price point is, what you want, and what location or area you want the home is, you go to the very next step.
Okay, and I want to go back just a little bit in reference to you speaking of the choosing that agent. You know, should I sign an agency agreement with the person I decide to go with?
Yes.
Okay.
So in the state of Virginia, it's legally you have to sign a agency agreement with them in order to view any properties or them to do any type of pretty much work for you, as it protects you, the client, and also protects the agent from any type of illegal things that may happen, such as, you know, for example, if you take someone out to look for properties without an agency agreement, and then later on down the line, one of those properties that you show to that person, they purchase it with another agent, they are now getting a commission for work that you previously did. So it helps you, the buyer, say, okay, great, whenever I'm ready to go, I can write an agreement or an offer right away because I have an agreement with the brokerage. But number 2, it protects the agent's commission.
Okay. Is there a certain time limit that should be? Is it a time period customary? What is the market time? Is that 30 days, 90?
There is a customary time, so it's an unwritten rule. It's good for at least 90 days.
Okay.
After the 90 days, it can be extended. Most agents do 120 days, which is 4 months, because the steps to the process can, depending on what time of year, can be a little bit longer. So it can take you about, you know, say 2 to 3 weeks to get your pre-approval and get all that taken care of. It can take anywhere to a month to actually find a property, and then it can take another 30 days or longer to close on that property. So within that time frame, that's about 90 days, but you want to give yourself an extra month just in case there are complications or issues during the process of the home buying.
Okay. And so I have my agency agreement, and you were speaking of those steps, and so we put together basically a checklist of items that we like, the needs and wants, I guess, for the property. And what's the next step on that?
So once you get your needs analysis and you got your buyer's agreement, now you have your mortgage company that you know you're gonna go with. For example, you know, a small brokerage in the area, or you decide to go to a credit union, or you go to a big bank where you know a name from. So once you get that letter from them, it's basically your pre-approval letter. That letter says to a homeowner, hey, this is how much money I have to spend in order for me to purchase this home. I can afford it based on what the lender is willing to give me.
Okay. And how would a home buyer, potential home buyer, actually choose between a lender? What would you suggest to them in reference to choice of it? I know you mentioned about the different levels of local, but what would be a suggestion in reference to that they had no idea where to go?
Okay.
Where would they start?
So as an agent, I also facilitate a lot of the relationships that you have in the transaction. The lender, the home inspector, the closing company, these are all people that I work with normally. So we do have a list of preferred lenders that we will give to you. You have an option to choose whoever you want. I can tell you who I worked with and how such a great job they've done for me or any other client I've had in the past, but your job is to do the research to make sure you're comfortable with the lender and you understand what they're offering you. And as long as you're good with what they're offering you, you can go to the next step in the process. But I will hold your hand throughout the entire process.
Okay. All right. So we have a pre-approval, and then we'll go forward from there.
So you have your pre-approval letter. We are going to go back to your needs assessment package, and we're going to say, okay, here are the things that we talked about in the beginning, and now we can go out and look. So this is the fun but frustrating part at the same time, because you know it can take some time to find that dream home, and it may not be on the market right now. So we are going to go out and look at homes that fit into your criteria, in the location, the price range that you need, and then that part is my favorite part. Really, it is, because I get to know my clients. I get to know, you know, how many kids they have, if they have pets, their family members, their background, where they come from. So for me, I really get to know my clients and they get to know me, and I really get to break down each home with them to make sure they're staying aligned with the needs that they really want.
Okay, and usually, how long does it take for them to find that dream home? What can happen to help them get there sooner?
So we have a system called the MLS. That's the system that I pay for, and a lot of the other agents do pay for, to look up homes and their criteria. So what we'll do is I will send you a list of homes that are in the area with your criteria, and you take the time to look through each one of them and you pick out the ones you want to go see. And then when you get there, I have a like a checklist for you, so you can say, oh, it has this, I don't like that, it doesn't have this, it doesn't have that, or it does have every single one of these things. Now, it can vary. That's why I say give you 30 days, at least a month, to look for a home, because you may not find it in the first session we go out on. I like to look between 1 and 5 homes on every session we go out, because over 5 can be overwhelming.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it can start to run together and you're just confused after a while. So that's why, you know, taking your time through each property, understanding the area, the school districts, the, you know, what's local grocery stores, shops, the things that you really want to, and also your job. The distance from your house to your job is very important as well.
Yes, like dealing with the traffic like today.
Yes.
Yes. Now, once you have found that home and you have a contract, what happens after that contract is ratified?
So let's dial it back to you found it. So you found it, and it's the offer stage.
Okay.
So you have the home, you're like, this is it. I'm like, great. So let's go over the importance of writing a win-win contract, because the homeowner wants to sell their home and you want to buy this home, but everyone has to come to an agreement. So the offer process is basically me giving you the information about the area and what has sold in the last 6 months to a year in comparison to the home that you want to purchase. So my job is to give you the knowledge or the information, and you have to make a sound decision of what you want to offer. I can give you suggestions, but I can't tell you exactly what to do, because the money from the lender is where you have to, you know, stay in that range.
Yes.
So once you get there, you submit the offer to the seller, and then if everyone's in agreement, you have a ratified contract.
Okay. Yeah, and for time's sakes, I want you to share with us someone that had actually made it across that finish line.
Okay, so when it comes to getting the contract ratified, there's just a few more steps in between there that can take anywhere from, let's say, 3 weeks to a month. And I have a client, most recently, Miss Johnson, I love her to death. That process went really quickly because she wanted to close in a certain time frame. So once you get the contract ratified, now you have a few contingencies that you need to make sure happen. For example, a home inspection. That home inspection is essential to your buying process. You want to make sure the home that you buy is in the best condition and in working condition for you to live in it. So that is something that you have to do within the first 7 days usually. Then after the home inspection, there's the appraisal and also the finance contingency. If you're buying a condo or a townhouse, there is another contingency which is called the HOA documents or the condo documents you have to review.
Okay.
So once you get through all those contingencies, you're now at the final end of the process.
Okay. All right. And so what we're going to do now is I hope that you have found the information that Sarah has provided beneficial to you. And I would like, if you have any questions, please reach out to her. Sarah, thanks for coming on the show today. And we're going to have to invite you back again.
No problem. I appreciate you bringing me here, and contact me anytime.
Okay. Now it's time to check out our inbox and see how we can help rock your block. This is where we share recent questions sent to us from you, the viewing audience, about financial stability and housing. Today's question comes from Arlington, Virginia. How long does information stay on my credit report? That's a good question. Inquiries stay on your credit report 2 years. Credit accounts stay on your credit report file for 7 years. Whether it's good information or derogatory information, even foreclosures, bankruptcies stay on your report for 10 years. It is very important that you review your credit report file annually. For a free credit report, visit annualcreditreport.com. Again, I'm Larry Laws of First Home Alliance, and it's a pleasure to share with you these amazing services that are provided to the community to empower you with the knowledge to enhance your financial fitness and to answer questions you may have about housing to make your dream of homeownership a success. If you have questions concerning financial education or homeownership, email our inbox to get your questions answered, and tune in to our next show to see if your question was selected to be shared with our audience. You can easily get more information about our services by visiting our website. Thank you for watching today's segment of First Home Alliance, and join us next time to rock your block. First Home Alliance is a community-based, HUD-approved nonprofit housing counseling agency. We provide homebuyer education and counseling, loss mitigation assistance, foreclosure intervention, and financial literacy training. Our programs empower individuals with knowledge to improve their financial capabilities and enhance their quality of life. We aim to advance financial stability and sustainable housing opportunities for needy families and veterans in our community. To find out more about our programs, visit us on the web at firsthomealliance.org or call 703-580-8838.